guys, it's Shishika here, and today I'm going to be reading The Haunted Hotel A to Z Mysteries Part 2. So let's get started. Okay, this is a picture of them, as you saw in Part 1. Mr. Linklater and the two couples leaving because of the ghost. And this is Olivia, Ruth Rose, Dink, and Josh were talking to her. All right, Josh smirkled. Does the ghost jump out and say boo? He asked. Josh doesn't believe in ghosts, Ruth Rose said. Do you? Livy asked her. Ruth Rose shrugged. I don't know, but something's scaring the people away. Did you see the ghost? Dink asked. Livy shook her head. No, and I better not. When a ghost shows up, I'm out of here. Just then, Mr. Linklater hung up the phone and walked over to Mrs. Nugent. Please continue with your work, he said to Livy. Then he turned to the kids. What can I do for you, children? We read about the ghost, Dink said. Josh rolled his eyes. And we saw all the people leaving, Ruth Rose said. Mr. Linklater's sad eyes surveyed the lobby. All the guests had left, and the place was empty. Mr. Linklater sighed. Apparently, a ghost is scaring away all our guests, he said. Maybe we can help, Dink said. Remember how we found Wallace? When you thought she was kidnapped? I'll never forget that, Mr. Linklater said. He looked at the three kids. His eyes and thin mustache twitched. His sad eyes squinted. Finally, he said, follow me, please. He turned and marched away. Chapter 2. Mr. Linklater led the kids to his office. The room was small, with just a desk and 3 chairs. On one wall hung a painting of the hotel. A framed picture of an elderly couple stood on the desk. Please sit down, Mr. Linklater said. The kids sat. Mr. Linklater opened a desk drawer and took out a paper bag. Mint? He asked. Each of the kids took a mint from the bag and popped it into their mouths. Mr. Linklater looked inside the bag. Then he popped a mint into his mouth too. He sank back into his chair. This is terrible, he said. So you can see the picture right here. And this is Josh, Dink, and Ruth Rose. They're all popping a mint into their mouth. This is Mr. Linklater, and he's also popping a mint into his mouth. All right. Mine tastes okay, Josh said. I think it's lemon. Ruth Rose nudged Josh. I think he means the ghost, she said. Josh blushed. Oh, sorry. As I was saying, Mr. Linklater went on, it all started 2 days ago, on Friday. It was almost midnight. I was closing my office when a guest ran into the lobby. She was yelling about a ghost on the 3rd floor. Did she say what the ghost looked like? Dink asked. Mr. Linklater smoothed his hair. She said it was all white except for the black holes where her eyes should be. The 3 kids looked at each other. Josh's mouth was hanged open. Mr. Linklater rubbed his temples as if he had a headache. Anyway, he went on, that guest checked out last night. More guests saw the ghost again. It appeared at midnight today. All those guests checked out. Mr. Linklater shook his head. This ghost is ruining our business. Did any of the guests say where the ghost went after they saw it? Ruth Rose asked. Apparently, it just floats away and disappears. He answered. Did you see the ghost too? Dink asked. No. I went upstairs, but all I saw was a dozen terrified guests. Mr. Linklater picked up the picture of the elderly couple on his front desk. This is my aunt and uncle, Florence and Benzer Spivets. They've owned the Shangri-La ever since they were first married 47 years ago. He looked at the kids. They're very worried. I don't know what will happen to the hotel if the ghost ruins our business. Well, that's all I'm going to be reading for today, guys. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Goodbye, and part 3 is going to come out soon, too. Goodbye.